Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the e-commerce lab by Ecomcy, the place of everything related to Amazon FBA, private label, and e-commerce. My name is Vincenzo Toscano, your founder and CEO here of Ecomcy. And today I have a very special guest, very close friend of mine, one of the early starters, actually, one of the first episodes when it comes to this podcast, Nick Penev. I mean, this guy is the king of partnerships. He actually has introduced so many people to me and has helped me so much. And for me, it's a pleasure to have Nick today on the show. We're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, which is, partnerships, which we all know is super important to scale your business. And this applies to any type of business, realistically, right? So today, Nick is going to come into, the show, as you can see him now on the screen. And we're going to be talking about all the different things when it comes to these interesting things. So, Nick, it's a pleasure. Thank you once more for being here. How you doing, my friend?
Thanks, Vincenzo. By the way, I had no idea that it was one of the first guests. That's a news
Yeah,
for me. But see, we
yeah,
just made like a whole circle because we did so many shows.
I know.
You've traveled around the road, and we finally managed to catch up
I
again.
know. I know. In
Yeah,
fact, I remember that you were one of the first maybe five or so episodes. And to be honest, at the very beginning, you helped me a lot because I remember during that period you were also starting to do very more pushy with in terms of introductions to our partners and everything. And thanks to those introduction, a lot of them started to become also one of the first guests on the podcast. And then it become a snowball effect from there. So I always remember that, and I'm always been thankful for that. So it's definitely great to have you, as you say, a first circle now. So Nick, I'm sure a lot of people already have seen your face. You do like 30 posts per day. You're
no
very
man,
active.
just 10 per week max.
So just give us a quick intro about what you do and who you are, and then of course we can dive into the topic. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So, thanks for introduction, Vincenzo. So, I'm Nick Penev. Vincenzo said I'm the co-founder of Extreme Power Brands and Scale. Extreme Power Brands is a partnership agency and network with over 1,000 founders like Vincenzo. The network is totally free. What we do is we help each other to grow through partnerships. It's simple as that. And our motto is: don't tell me what we can do with money. Tell me what we can do without money.
Mm.
And connections. Our currency are the connections. So also, I'm the co-founder of Scale, which is a SaaS solution for proactive referrals and introductions. So, what we've been doing in our network and agency, we've built a SaaS solution so anybody can do that. E-commerce, uh, any industry, even the
Mhm.
Martians, if they come here, they would need some connections. So we can help out everybody. And also, I'm a partnership manager at hellotax, which is a VAT compliance provider for companies who would like to expand in Europe. They're actually my first client. I used to be client of them. I was selling in Europe for 10 years. I had an e-commerce business, but that's long time ago, like 13 years ago. And the last but not the least, I'm a remote junkie. I've been running my companies remotely from the beach in the summer,
I
wherever
know.
my wife and my kids tell me in the winter. So I'm like that.
Awesome.
I mean, I believe that people are either reliable or not, offline or online, doesn't matter. But and that's like a quick introduction about me.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. Yeah, as you guys can see, Nikki is a man of many assets under the sleeve. Basically, you have many skills, and that's what I love about you. You have so much knowledge about so many areas, and today that's actually why I wanted to focus on one of your strongest pillars, which is partnerships. You're very well known in the space for that, and I think partnership is something that I feel a lot of people, let's be honest, sometimes think it cannot be useful for their business, or they don't know how to do it properly, or they just think like, partnership is just yeah, let's do a blog swap, a newsletter, and then it dies there. They don't really build a meaningful partnership, which is really what can provide a ton of value to your business. So maybe let's start with why Nick Panev thinks partnership are super important. Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you now why this is important, because I got burned by not doing partnerships. Now, as I
Mm,
mentioned, I
okay.
used to, in my e-commerce business, I had like 20 private label brands selling supplements across Europe, D2C.
Hmm.
And we did a lot of actually paid ads. As a matter of fact, at the peak, we did like 25 million in sales, and we
Sure.
did only Facebook and Google Ads. So we're highly relying on those guys. And with supplements is a shady industry.
Yeah.
You got suspended, you got blocked, and one day we got suspended, and they said, okay, you guys need to fix your creatives, fix your
Mm.
landing page, and do all this stuff. So we did everything. Then 3 weeks later, they suspend us again. Then a few weeks later again, and they said, okay, we just depend too much on those guys now because all our revenue is gonna go to zero if we depend on just the paid marketing. And like PPC is going up, I've never heard anybody say PPC is going down. So it's getting more and more expensive. So we said, okay, let's go dive into the partnership. We build a partner like network of affiliates, and we've switched from doing like almost 100% paid marketing to 90 or even more affiliate marketing. So what happened now? People are actually pushing our offers. They're getting paid for that, but we didn't have any risk. If it doesn't convert, we don't get paid. And as a matter of fact, a lot of industries work like that. So long story short, that was what happened. Now we did a few more years of high growth, and eventually we sold the company. And then I was approached by a company called hellotax, which I mentioned earlier, to advise them about partnerships. And the reason why they ask for that is because I get to know the founders, which are also ex e-commerce sellers. Both of them sold on
Mm.
Amazon. They told me, okay, can you replicate what you did for your own company for a service provider? And I said, of
Yep.
course. I mean, why not? I mean, I'm too young to retire. My wife told me that I'm getting dumber if I don't have like a full-time project. And I said, okay, let's do it, guys. And the first thing I did is I checked their correspondence with their partners, and everybody was complaining that it's one-sided.
Mm.
You hellotax would like to get it, is not giving anything, and this is the issue with a lot of partners now. Everybody's is waiting for somebody to do something for them without
But they're
doing
not doing.
anything in return. Exactly. So I tell the guys that's totally wrong. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna find all the best partners in the industry. We're gonna start doing content with them, and we're gonna start giving to the community. And just to tell everybody, if you would like to get something, start giving. No, nobody has gone broke from giving. There is a lot of
Yeah.
guys who do that, and the issue with most people is, okay, why should they do that if I don't have anything guaranteed? You never have anything guaranteed. You can walk to the street and a spirit can hit you on the head and you die. You didn't know that's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
just don't make assumption. No, just always make the first step. Whenever you make the first step, first you're showing them that you're open-minded. You're giving them content. You're doing
Yeah.
them a favor. So psychology kicks in. Okay, this guy did something for you. So they
Yeah.
need to return the favor. This is not the case, but just keep in mind that by doing
It's
partnership,
basically giving, 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 and eventually the right people is gonna realize that you are a person that really provides value, and that is gonna reciprocate back to you, right? Yeah.
exactly. And actually, there is a formula for that because whenever I meet somebody, we never start with anything commercial. As a matter of fact, for my paid service, we have a waiting list. If you would like to become a client, you cannot. First,
Mhm.
you're gonna go for my partner network. We're gonna do some stuff, and based on how open you're to do stuff, then we can talk about the commercial. So this is never the goal of what we do. And the idea of the partnership is like that: you meet somebody, you start doing some stuff with them. You do
Yeah.
like a blog swap, email swap,
Mhm.
webinar, podcast. Then that would can actually evolve into referrals. But the thing is, you
Exactly.
should not expect something definitely to happen because by helping somebody out, first you're helping them, then you're helping yourself. Let's say you create the content, the content stays there regardless of what
Mhm.
you're doing. You're
Yeah.
gonna benefit from that in the long term. So it's a long term game, but it pays out very good for anybody. And
Yeah.
because of we've been doing all this kind of stuff, we've been growing the network. We've done like over 300 webinars. I've spoken to. I have no idea how many podcasts. I've
No.
recommended people all the time. I help people all the time. So the only thing that you should be willing is to ask and to give,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Of
sometimes no
course.
people ask for advice, they don't use it.
Yeah.
Sometimes even paying clients. I tell them, guys, you're paying for that. I'm
Yeah.
giving you my
Exactly.
advice. Are you
Yeah.
gonna use it or not is your problem. If you're not using it, you're wasting your money, but that's your problem. So people a lot of time talk, promise, and do nothing. So this is very important with partnership. Partnership is about meeting somebody and then doing something with them. Because
Yeah.
if you don't do anything, you're just
Yeah.
wasting the call that
And
you did at the beginning.
yeah. And I think something that happens as well, especially with companies that getting started, they get also into this issue in the sense that they want to start doing partnerships, but they don't really know what they can provide in terms of value. So I guess, what would you recommend to a company that just getting started, that want to start doing partnership, and maybe they are concerned about, but I'm just getting started, maybe they're not going to trust me, I don't have enough reputation in the space yet, I don't know if I can provide enough value. What can you tell to those companies, like,
Okay, it's really simple because like 3 years ago, nobody knew me in the space. I didn't know anybody.
mm-hmm.
And it all happened by accident. I got in, the hellotax founder got invited to speak because I told him, okay, let's go and speak at events. And he said, okay, I cannot. I have, anyways. I mean, I had to step up and speak. And I spoke with Scott from Smart Scout. Scott
Yeah,
is one
there
of
you
the
go.
biggest
Yeah,
sellers on
yeah,
Amazon. So
yeah, yeah,
I was the guest, and then I got the idea. Okay, man, this is what people do. If nobody knows you, then what happens? You have two options. You go to conferences and all this kind of stuff, which is expensive. You need to travel, spend money. Second option, set up a podcast or a webinar.
yeah,
Start inviting people, because if you want to sell somebody something, they're going to say no, or I don't know you, blah, blah. Tell somebody, okay, man, come and speak on our podcast. It's going to be for e-commerce. Nobody's going to
yeah,
say no. So
yeah.
you're giving them the
And let's
stage.
be honest, let's be honest, for most people, going to a podcast is actually exciting because not a lot of people actually have a podcast or have done it before. So they see it as an opportunity to do something new, as well.
Exactly, no, but they give you the stage. So come and speak here. Of course,
Yeah.
many of them are gonna say yes. Then the next stage, okay, but you're gonna ask, okay, but I'm doing them a favor. Actually, you're doing them a favor, but they're doing you a favor as well. So you can invite what the best speakers, and they're gonna say yes. So they come to your podcast, they speak. Then what happens? You post that on socials. People see, okay, see, this guy is going to Vincenzo's podcast now. Okay, so you start using your partners to create content which you distribute, and,
Exactly.
and it's actually is going to benefit you in multiple ways. The first thing is people see you create buzz in the space. Second, the partner creating the content, so you don't do anything, you just host it. Then you use the content that they create to post on socials, everybody. So people see them, they're happy. People also see you promote your services, so people can actually come and list you. But and one by one actually start doing that. That's
Yeah.
an advice that I recommend to everybody, because
Yeah.
nobody has 1,000 clients or like 10,000 email lists when they
It's
start doing a
it's
podcast.
it seems you are describing my story. I started like
Yeah, exactly. No, but this should be everybody's story, because
yeah, I
I
know,
mean,
I know.
if nobody knows you, you have two options: burn a lot of cash, as the aggregators did. Some of them went bankrupt.
Then went
Or the other
bankrupt.
option
Yeah.
is exactly set up a podcast, set up a webinar, invite industry speakers, share the stage
Yeah.
with them, share.
In fact, yeah, and just to ask my 2 cents here, like when I got started, I didn't have the budget to do sponsorships or anything like that. So I thought to myself, the only option I have here is to create content. Eventually, that's gonna it's gonna make people discover me, and that discovery is gonna allow me to potentially have the cash flow to then do the sponsorship and bigger things, which is what is been happening this year. Last year I was doing only online content. Now I'm going to more events. Next year I might do more sponsorship. It's a snowball effect, right?
Exactly.
So, but yes, podcast, I totally agree. I think it is the easiest thing that people can do, especially using the camera. You don't even need a microphone. You can just have AirPods.
Yeah, some people just listen to the podcast. I mean, they repurpose them. And the other thing that we do is we create like a long-term like a podcast or webinar. We have like 4 or 5 speakers. So then we get certain visits on the whole webinar. Then we cut them into shorts, like short sessions. We put them, and we get probably 3 or 4 times more on that. So you can actually grow a lot just by having other people speak on their podcast. Of course, if you're lazy and you don't want to spend your time, I mean, then try paid marketing. but
yeah,
but like I said, no, partnership is about you're investing in your time, not that
yeah,
much about money. Because if
no,
money are involved, this is not partnership. Of course, there might be some commission, but the
of
pure
course.
partnership is about giving and getting something in return, and using the
Yeah,
partners to create content. But like Vincenzo said, probably the next question will be, okay, I don't know anybody now. How can I
exactly.
meet
How do
those
I get
guys?
started? Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So how do you get started? So for podcast invites, I mean, you can simply go to LinkedIn and invite people. No, like I said, nobody's gonna say no.
Yeah,
So that's other thing. But the other thing is, uh, you might want to get a specific person to come to your show, and that's why we actually build a SaaS solution which does introduction swaps and like proactive referrals, because most of the time now, whenever you meet somebody, regardless of the industry, whatever you do, you tell them what you do, they tell what you do, and then you tell them at the end of the call, okay, Vincenzo, or okay, Nick, whenever somebody is asking for you or they need help with what you do, I'm gonna make an introduction. And this doesn't happen 95% of the time because of you don't have time. Nobody's gonna ask you about that, and the partnership just dies like that. But
Yeah.
this is why we actually build a solution where you can actually put your contacts in a, just imagine like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is like a matchmaking service, but LinkedIn, you have a lot of people there who don't know each other. They're connected. I
Exactly.
have Vincenzo has like 10,000 plus
That
followers. I have
happens
like
to me,
10,000.
every single time people send me a message like, "Oh, can you do an introduction to this connection?" Yeah, yeah, we're connected, but we never spoken.
Exactly. So this happens to me all the time. So LinkedIn is very good, but you don't know all the people there. So what we've done is like a small version of LinkedIn, which is called Scale, where you upload your top or warm contacts. There's actually different use cases, but the first one is people that you really know. Because let's say you meet somebody,
Mhm.
you should know at least 10 people. The other partner is gonna know 10 people. So let's say you would like to invite some of their like contacts as guests. So what happens is you just share your page, they go to your page and they see a list of like 10 guys. Okay, I don't know, 5 of those guys, they would be a good fit for what you're doing.
Mm.
Okay, I would like to request interaction. So you're kind of using your connections to get more connections. I'm gonna connect with 5 guys on my end. You can do the same. But the thing is, it's really easy because you just upload your contacts, you share your link, and you just swap introductions. That could be valuable for anybody. It would be valuable for somebody who would like to build their podcast because they would like to get guests on the podcast. Another option would be if you would like to promote your service, because like I said, no, referrals come whenever somebody is requesting those. So what you can do is the thing that they call proactive referrals. Let's say Vincenzo has an agency, has another company, and let's say I'm another service provider. So how could it work? We meet together and I tell, okay, man, I like you. Instead of waiting for somebody to ask about your service, go to my page and you can see other service providers or brands and you can tell them in the request interaction. So you go there, you request 5 interactions and we send an email like that. Hey, James, please meet Vincenzo. He's the founder of Ecomcy. He has a podcast. This is what he's doing, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. Feel free to connect and have a chat. So before the introduction request, James, the guy on my list, had no idea that you exist. So by making the interaction from me, they're gonna see, okay, he's a partner of Vincenzo. I know them, so a warm interaction. He's doing something. Okay, I'm not happy with my agency. Or if I'm a service
Exactly.
provider, so okay, I would like to speak there. So you kind of create your own opportunities without waiting for those, and that's the bottom line of everything. You have like other use cases, for example, the WAS leads swaps. Have you
Mhm.
heard of the so-called WAS lead swaps?
No, actually, it's a new term. Yeah, can you explain?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, yeah, I think I made it up like a few weeks ago, and this is how it works. I mean, there is a song for that. The guy Macklemore, somebody's trash and somebody else trader. So let me explain how it works. Let's say with hellotax. Hellotax provides VAT compliance for Amazon sellers. They have like 10,000 walls leads.
Yeah.
People who inquired about their service over the years, they never converted. Many of those are Amazon sellers. Vice versa, you provide service for Amazon sellers. People have inquired about your service, you've not closed all of them. No company can sell to everybody who is inquiring about
Possible.
their service. So
Yeah.
you have a list of WOS leads. 99% of companies, when asked them what do you do with your WOS leads, the first answer is what is WOS leads, and the
Yeah.
second answer, when I explain them, we do nothing. So
Yeah.
the WOS leads are actually valuable for your partners, and you can do the following. You can load them on scale. Let's say 100 of your WOS leads. You can, of course, filter to see who is a good match, and you can tell them, hey man, please meet Vincenzo. He's an agency. He's done this and that. Blah blah blah. Feel free to get in touch if you need help with them, if you need an
Mm.
agency. Vice versa. So you're kind of recycling your WOS leads and trying to monetize those, because the guy might be looking for an agency. The guy might be looking to expand on your market, but those guys are never gonna ask because they don't know that you know the other partner who is doing that. And this is applicable for any non-competitive partners. And
Mhm.
you'll be surprised, but nobody is doing that. Nobody,
Yeah, in
no.
fact, you mentioned something that they're not competing as well, which is something interesting I want to bring, which is when it comes to partnerships. Sometimes people think that they have to be very methodical with who do they choose to partner with, because it can create conflict with the business or the current partners they already have. So, what is your take on this? Like, I'm a big believer that you can be partners with as many people as you want. Like, you can be Switzerland, basically, you can be neutral. You don't need to have exclusivity with anybody, but some people decide to go down the route of only to exclusivity. So what
Oh.
is your opinion on that when it comes to
Okay,
partner?
my opinion is very straightforward. Here is my exclusive partnership. Everybody else needs to share. I'm not joking. That's what I tell everybody. My wife, she has exclusive partnership. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I judge based on what we do together. I don't care how big you are, how small you are. We start partnering. We do something. We promise each other we're gonna do one, two, three, four, five, block swap, feature swap, webinar, podcast, all this kind of stuff. So based on what we do together, that's how it become more valuable to me. But they don't do exclusivity with anybody, because why should they do that? I mean, uh,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
idea is to work with everybody who is willing to give value to you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
I give everybody the same terms, and the terms that I give is actually it's not terms, but is like the action steps for partnership, is to kind of see each other what you're willing to do, how you're willing to work. Because I'll give you an example. I talk with somebody, I do some stuff for him. I do a social spotlight. I do something for him. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't bother to return the favor. So how can I go to step 4 or 5? For example, somebody comes to me and say, "Okay, I would like to speak on your webinar." Okay, man, have we done anything with you? Okay, let's do
Yeah.
something. If we like each other, we're gonna do like with dating. I'm explaining that partnership is about dating. You don't go to the
You don't
bedroom
go
the
straight
first
to the
night.
bed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Exactly.
You need to warm up. You need to see if the guy is just talking or if the guy is real about partnership. Then somebody comes to me and said, "Okay, Nick, I would like to be your number one partner. I want exclusivity." Okay, man, prove that you would like to be an exclusive partner. Even though I don't do that, we can do more stuff with you. But some people just would like to become okay. Why do you think that you should be exclusive? Prove that you're a reliable partner, and you prove that with your actions, not with your what you're promising. Because
Exactly.
people promise all kind of bullshit. I mean,
Exactly.
and that's in business and life. It doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not religious, but judge your people by their deeds.
I know, I know. Now, let's also start thinking about how even Amazon brands could potentially start implementing this, because I know we've been speaking at the high level for business as a whole, but I think this also will apply to Amazon brands. Like, they can use the partnership to also expand their exposure when it comes to e-commerce in general. So maybe can you also give us some maybe insights about how you think partnership can also be beneficial for Amazon sellers? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it would be beneficial a lot, because sellers come to me all the time. Nick, do
Mhm.
you know somebody who does that, who is doing something somewhere? And usually, no, people need to go and look for that. So if you have your contacts on scale, you can tell them, "Yeah, man, go there. You can see Vincenzo has an agency, he can help out. Xavier has a compliance agency, he can help out." So you can actually guide them to somebody that you know who can help out. So you make the connection, but it's much easier. They go there and just request that. So this
Yeah.
is another one. The other option is what we're doing right now is to actually have like partnership in between brands. Because let's say you're selling a product, you're selling, let's say, like a supplement. You have like your Amazon account. You know that you cannot take the context from Amazon, but there is like a TOS compliant way that you can actually build an email list. So if you're an e-commerce brand and you don't have an email list, you must do that. Because for my business, we had 500,000 emails, 500,000 emails,
Wow.
and ask me, Vincenzo, how many emails did we send to those?
I don't know.
Oh,
Zero, maybe.
zero, man. I'm a
Yeah.
complete idiot. No, we didn't use that. So I'm
You
just
didn't
giving you
leverage
this.
that. Yeah.
We
Mhm.
didn't leverage that, and this is a complete huge mistake that nobody should do. You should start building your email list from day one. So if you're an e-commerce store, start doing that. Once you build your email list, then what you're selling, there is probably thousands of other people who sell something
Exactly.
similar, but they're not competitors. So brand partnerships. Very few companies are doing that, and I'm going to explain how it works. Let's say you're a huge established brand in the States. Then there is another huge established brand in Europe. You guys are not competitors, but you have the same audience. So by connecting through Scale, for example, and doing some complementary like campaigns like email swaps
Exactly.
or like campaigns, you can actually get exposure. And when you do this kind of partnership, that's how much paid marketing you're investing in. Zero. You use your audience to promote your partner and vice versa. And there are some people in the space who are email marketing wizards. I know how it works, but those guys can actually help you make a lot of money for that. They can also have your partners actually use their know-how about the market. But if you're looking just for sales and growth, just do like campaigns with those guys. I mean,
Yeah.
you can
I was
connect
thinking,
connect.
yeah, sorry for interrupting. I think just an idea, maybe you think this would be great. It's like, let's say you're doing supplements, or let's say you're doing yoga products, as a quick example. You could partner with a brand that does yoga supplements. You do products and they do supplements, and you guys could support each other with, as what you're saying, like exchanging emails and everything. It's the same audience, but you don't sell the same product, and you can
Yeah,
basically support each other. Like
you
very
can do
easy.
like joint offers, joint campaigns. A
No,
lot of times you can actually just meet like influencers, for example. Those
exactly.
guys they have the audience, they don't have the product. So you
Mhm.
come to them and you tell them, okay, or you got connected because see a lot of our users actually are running like influencers. They have this guy, so they can connect with an influencer who can actually promote your product. For
Yeah,
example, the guys have an audience. A lot of influencers have a lot of followers. They don't make money because they don't monetize their audience. We're actually doing them a favor by giving them a product they promote, vice versa. No, they make money because they're monetizing their audience. So you make more sales by using their audience. So it's again partnership. And what we're doing from Scale is actually facilitating those introductions because I mean you need to know the people to get interaction to them. It's simple
exactly.
as that.
Exactly. Now, just to start concluding on the topic of partnership, like what is usually the timeline that you give yourself to figure out if a partnership is worth enough to keep investing your time in? Because I'm guessing, as you say, you need to give it first some time to see if the person actually delivers and provides the value that is, you know, equal for both parties. So you give yourself like a month, 2 months. So this is really depending on
No,
on
actually, I
the,
mean,
yeah.
the main thing about partnership is numbers game because
Okay.
uh, and Vincenzo knows me now. I don't go to any like offline events. I've been
Yeah.
to London last year. We met there in person. I went to another one recently, not actually recently, like a year ago. And one guy there said, Partnerships don't work." And I said, "Okay, man. How many partners did you find? Five. Okay, man. How can they work if you didn't try?" So if you want like to do partnership, it's a numbers game. You find 100 partners, and you're gonna end up doing stuff with probably 20% of those, so 20 of
Mm,
those. So you need to keep on adding new blood to your partner system, doing stuff, and eventually you're gonna have a list of good partners. But never stop, because see, my business is about partnership. I meet people. So people say, okay, you know everybody. That's not true. Even though I have like 1,500 founders in my network, like Vincenzo, I meet like 30 new each month. So there is always new people who cannot, and you meet unique people all the time. Even if you're a brand owner, how can you? The best thing to actually to make sure that you're always growing is by innovating. Big agencies they have the so-called innovation teams. They pay people to actually find features and solutions which can make them more money.
mhm.
Because if you're not growing, you're going down. I mean, I know it from experience because at the end of our supplement business journey, we just started our side businesses. We just didn't do anything. So what happens? Eventually, you start going
Yeah,
down. So that's why
I
it's
know.
very important to do that.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great, Nick. I mean, this episode is being awesome, and the reason that I have so much connection with everything you've been saying is because everything that we've basically been discussing is things that I've been doing myself, and I've been seeing the results. Of course, it's something that is takes time. That's another thing we need to be transparent. Like the podcast I started 2 years ago, and I never stopped a single week putting content. Like I have more than 300 episodes now. So it takes time, it takes efforts, and that's why a lot of people don't manage succeed with the, let's say, with the podcast route, just to give an example, because all these things we're mentioning is consistency. And I think it also goes, applies to the partnerships. Like, the people that say partnership don't work is because they only do 5 or 10, and they don't keep, they don't keep trying, or they don't keep adding numbers in terms of connecting with more people. And at the end of the day, as you say, it's numbers. Like, if mathematically, if you don't give up and you keep trying and trying, you're eventually going to find the right people, and those are the ones that are going to help you scale. So thank you
Yeah,
so much for
exactly.
all these insights. The last thing I want to do this last minute or so, please tell us a little bit more about your company, Scayul, and how people can use it to, scale their partnerships. Yeah.
Yes, Scale, I mean, just as I mentioned, during the our chat, Scale is a SaaS solution which makes proactive referrals and introductions easy. So if you would like to meet new partners, if you would like to meet new service providers, if you would like to meet like brands that you can do partnership, anybody who would like to either grow their company, meet new people, sell their service, or just connect with people. But the thing is, it's warm interactions. People that is the main use case. So regardless of what we're doing, it's industry agnostic. But right now we're very strong in the e-commerce. We have few
Awesome.
hundred users. We started like 2 months ago, and the idea is how to actually grow your company without spending money. Because I spend so much on paid marketing, I would like to teach people how to grow without spending any money.
I know.
That's
I
it.
know. That's great, Nick. So thank you very much. I'm gonna make sure to put everything down in the description for you guys to find out more about this. And in the meantime, I want to wish you all the best as always. And let's keep in touch. And I'm sure I'm gonna have you many more times in the podcast, man. So pleasure to always have you as a guest. Yeah. Thank you, man.
Thanks, Vincenzo.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.